Okay, welcome to our maths for this week. This week we're going to reinforce our powers of 10 that we did towards the start of the year, just making sure everyone's awesome at that. Because what we're starting off our multiplication work. So we got rid of our symmetry and our patterns last week. We've got our addition and subtraction out of the way. We've got our estimation and rounding. Now we're going to start developing our multiplication skills. Okay, in readiness for some fractions and some factors and all that kind of thing later on. But we're going to focus on multiplication for this week. But what we're going to do for the first 2 days, so this week's going to be similar to last week, where for the first 2 days is going to be a focus. And then if you achieve success in the first 2 days, then you are going to move on to the next task on the third and fourth day. Okay, but that's only once you've shown me that you're super duper awesome. Now, I can almost guarantee that most of you will absolutely fly through this on the first 2 days. It's just that third and fourth day where it might be like, ooh, okay. So we're going to be doing this. As I said, we're focusing on powers of 10, and then we're going to do the multiplication. Now, we'll also set some Kahoot tasks for you as well, okay, to show us some awesome skills. Because I remember talking to Connor Kay about it and Etsuko. So I've made some Kahoots where you can just sort of sit there. Unfortunately, it won't be against other people, but you can still sort of do the Kahoot. Okay, so I'll have a few of those links ready for you as well, hopefully. So, what do I mean by powers of 10? Some people will be thinking, oh, I don't know, we did that in like term 1. Okay, so powers of 10 just means what I'm multiplying it by. So, for an example, we've got 30 groups of 20. Okay, so for example, we've got 30 kids in the classroom, and Mr. P is so kind that he gives them all 20 lollies each. How many lollies does Mr. P have to hand out? Okay, so remember from term 1, the only thing we have to do is remember our multiplication skills. 3 groups of 2. Do we know what 3 groups of 2 are? Why, yes, we do. That is 6. So we put down our 6. Okay. Then we go, okay, how many zeros are there? Well, there's 2. There it is. So their answer is 600. Mr. P would have needed 600 lollies to feed those kids. Okay. For example, now this is where some people will have issues. And I'll put this one up on purpose. So 50 times 4 equals. Okay, we go, oh, what's 5 times 4? That's 20. And 1 0. Now, what some people will do is go, oh, I need that 1 0, but that 0 is already there. So that must be the answer. But when you have a look at it and go, well, hang on, 5 times 4 is 20. How can 50 times 4 be 20? Can't be. So you've just got to put down that answer. So 5 groups of 4 is 20. That's correct. We've still got to put down this 0. So we go, yep, use it. And there's my 0. So 50 groups of 4 is 200. One more just to keep refreshing. Because as I said, most of you will find this easy as. That's what I'm hoping for the first couple of days. So we'll go 70 times 300. All right, so once again, we've got to remember what our times tables are. So what are 7 groups of 3? 21. How many zeros do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, as we know, if we want to do a comma to separate, we know that we've got to go in 3. We go 1, 2, 3, put a comma there. So 70 groups of 300 is the same as 21,000. Okay? That's what's going to happen for the first couple of days. All right? Obviously, I'll try and chuck in a few difficult ones for some people. But I just want to make sure that people have remembered that and have got that understanding. Because if you don't have that, you're going to find the next step really hard. So, that's going to be the first 2 days. Next 2 days is we're going to learn how to multiply 2-digit numbers by each other. Okay, so we're going to learn how to do things like this. 35 groups of say 58. Okay, we're going to learn to do it like that. And how we're going to learn to do it to start with is using our powers of 10 knowledge. So we actually understand what's happening. Because in the following weeks, we're going to learn different ways to do it. Okay, now, how we're going to learn this is we're going to draw up a box. Okay, there's my box. Now, how many digits are there in these two numbers? Yes, I can hear you all saying there are 4 digits there, yep. So I've got 1 digit, 2 digit, 3 digit, 4 digits. So we need 4 boxes there. Okay. Now, hopefully all of you remember your partitioning knowledge, because that's what we did at the start of the year, because we need to know our partitioning knowledge here. So 35, if I break that down, what does that look like? I have a 30 and I have a 5. Okay, so that's what we need to do up here. We have a 30 and a 5. Okay. If I break down 58, what is it? Ooh, I've got a 50 and I've got an 8. Alright, so that's how we set up. Now we know we're using multiplication, so we'll just put our multiplication sign up there. Now what we need to do is utilise our powers of 10 knowledge. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to draw an imaginary line that goes down and across. And wherever the two numbers meet, that's what we need to multiply. So for example, this number 30, he goes for a walk. He goes for a walk down here. And if number 50 goes for a walk. So this is where they meet. They meet in this square. Okay. So we need to work out what 30 times 50 is. So 30 times 50, we know how to do because we've just been doing powers of 10. So 3 times 5 is 15, and we have 2 zeros. So we put down the 1500 there. Then 30 keeps walking, and then he sees 8 here. So he keeps walking down, he meets 8 over here. So now we need to do 30 times 8. Once again, that's a powers of 10. So what's 3 times 8? We say it's 24. And then we have the 0 at the end, so we put down our 0. Okay. So we've done 30 going for a walk. Let's have 5 going for a walk. So 5 goes for a walk. Who does he meet in this square? Well, 50, because 50 goes this way. Okay, so we go 5 times 50. So we go 5 times 5 is 25. And we make sure that we have the 0 there. So we put the 0 down. Then we have 5 groups of 8, because 5 goes for a walk here. 8 meets him in this box. So 5 times 8, that's just normal times table knowledge. And that is 40. Okay. Now what we do is we utilise a skill that we learned in week 4. So we learned how to do the vertical algorithm in addition. Because now we're going to use that. So what we need to do is we need to go 1,500 plus 250 plus 240 and plus 40. Okay, so we remember doing that. That's what we need to do now. The very most important thing that you need to focus on, because this is where 100% of people who have issues with this have the problem. They do not line this up in their correct place values. Make sure that the units are in the units column. The tens, they're all in the tens column. The hundreds, they're all in the hundreds column. And the thousands, they're all in the thousands column. If you make a mistake in this step, it is because you haven't completed that correctly. Now you utilise the skills that you used in week 4. Instead of having just the 2 numbers, we've got 4. You've got the skills, now you're using it in a different place. So we go 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0. Oh, 0, that's an easy one. Then we go 0 plus 5 is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9. Then we go 9 plus 4 is 13. So, as we know in our skills, we can only put down 1 digit. so we'll put down the right hand digit, so we put down the 3 and we carry our 1. Then we have 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Once again, we put down the right digit and we carry the 1. Then we go 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so our answer to 35 times 58 is 2,030. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on doing. Now, I'll do another one really quickly so people actually see the process again. Now, if you all go, yep, I'm all over that, you can stop watching the video now. But if you need to watch it again, I will demonstrate it again. So 75 times 43. We draw up my box. I'll make sure I have my 4 boxes. I'll put my multiplication there. I break these two numbers down. So the first one is 70 and 5. Then I've got 40 and 3. Okay? Because that 7 is worth 70 and this 5 is worth 5. This 4 is worth 40 and that 3 is worth 3. So it's all about that partitioning knowledge. Then we start going for walks. Okay, when 70 goes for a walk, he meets 40 in this box here. So 70 times 40 is 2,800 because 7 times 4 is 28 and then we have 2 zeros to add to it. 70 keeps going for a walk, then all of a sudden he meets Mr. 3 in here. So 70 times 3 is 210 because 7 times 3 is 21 and we add that 0. Then we go over here, 5 is going to go for a walk. Who does he meet in this box? He meets number 40. So 5 times 40, so 5 times 4 is 20 and we need to add the other 0. Then he keeps walking down here and 5 times 3 meet, so it's 15. There's our box filled out. Now what we need to do is we need to use our addition skills. So 2,800 plus 200 plus 210 plus 15. Remembering, all these have to be in their place value. Because if they're out of their place value, not even remotely close to a correct answer. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 5, well, that's 5. 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 1, well, that's 2. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So once again, we put down the right-hand side, we carry the 1. And then 1 plus 2 is 3. So our answer to 75 times 43 is 3,225. Okay? Now, some of you will probably look at this and go, oh my God, Mr. P, what am I supposed to be doing here? All you're doing is utilising the skills that you already have shown me. Okay? You've shown me that you can do the powers of 10. You've shown me that you can do the vertical algorithm in addition. All we're doing is putting it together now to figure out something else. Okay? So hopefully we have a good week in math and we learn all about reinforcing our skills in powers of 10 as well as learning how to do some multiplication skills. So have a good week.